All right, guys, welcome back. We just saw one hell of a game coming out from the side of J.Strom versus Flying Penguins. And nice of you to join us, sir.
Yeah, I'm back. We're good.
He had
So
to
hyped.
take an extended break after that one.
Right, I think we all did after that series. But yeah, so a pretty intense ending towards the game where it just ended up being a sense of just small little chips, it feels like, where just start to see these little cracks in the gameplay of Flying Penguins, and eventually it came down to, you know, the Coddle not having buyback, getting picked off, and again, like, really nice game sense coming out from the side of, you know, Bryle and Moo when they went for that Infest bomb, because they took him down and then they weren't able to stop them. He was down for the whole time, and then you just watch them kind of going one by one and start dying and buying back and then dying again, and, you know, J.Strom, they found that opening, they seized their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best use of the Infest Bomb that I think we've been seeing out of most of these life stealers in general that we've been having in this event. And also, it's just interesting seeing Life Stealer with his comeback. It does bring a couple of other heroes potentially could see even more of a comeback, like the Puck, for example, because he is that perfect vehicle for said hero. So.
And we also saw, you know, the Slardar did get picked up, and we saw some really nice bashes, the amp damage doing quite well. Sorry, Corrosive Haze, my bad.
Yeah.
But the Corrosive Haze, you know, it made it a lot easier to attack the Lifestealer, but when Lullis wasn't alive, when there wasn't any of that Corrosive Haze, it was very difficult.
Yeah, I think during that game, maybe the Ember Spirit could have thought to pivot to a more... Okay, they still go with Coddle. I wanted to finish my thought anyway. The Ember could still have thought to pivot to a more physical damage-based build, just because there was so much HP on the other side, and those team fights were quite clustered, especially when they were, you know, grouped around these Ignises trying to take him down. So I wouldn't have minded seeing him switch up the build. I thought about that for a bit during like the middle of the game, but it's always a question like, does the Ember want to take the time for that? Because like if you start on that magic build, it's going to take a long ass time to transition.
10 seconds remaining.
Flying Penguins,
So Coddle on the Dire.
this time.
5 seconds.
I'll keep him on the safe lane for
Okay.
now, actually. And then Sven, Phoenix. And the Sven didn't actually make it through the draft last time, I believe.
Yeah.
He definitely wasn't picked up. I know that. I don't remember if he was banned out or if it was just decided not to run with him.
Left open.
Did someone run
It
away
does.
with my Phoenix?
Oh, Phoenix?
Yeah, he's there on the top of yours.
On top, behind the
Who did that?
Pangolier.
Aha.
He's behind the Quap even now. What was he
Wasn't
doing there?
me.
That was probably me because I saw Pango, right? Why is Pango there is the other question.
Why is
Well,
Pango
so
there?
was Sven. I don't know.
Well, that's an
I didn't touch
S. He
Pango.
belongs there. Can I have that Pango?
I saw the Pango and I just
All
put him
right.
over there. You know, Pangolier, he rolls around.
That's why Pango's there. No one caught.
Ruined.
No, they cut back.
10 seconds
Ruined.
He
remaining.
tried to escape.
Do you see the Darkseer this time coming out for Flying Penguins? That's been a very
Yes.
popular
Seconds
pick.
remaining.
It's either been picked or banned because it's just very difficult to have to deal with the Darkseer right now, right? You just go cut the way, throw the Ion Shell down, drag it over to a camp nearby, and profit, basically. And there's not too many heroes that can really mess with them. In fact, we see a lot of Doom, actually, but Doom has been banned out on the side of Flying Penguins. So that won't be a lane that we'll be seeing today. Well,
We haven't been seeing as much of that Oracle counter idea as maybe we would have thought. Again, in a case like this, you have a Phoenix and a Sven already, so the chances that an Oracle comes out is highly unlikely. So,
yeah, I believe March will be playing that Phoenix again, if I had to guess.
yeah.
10 seconds
Well, J.Strom has been surprising us with the drafts. They
True.
could be looking to
5
take on, for
seconds
example, an
remaining.
offlane Phoenix. A while back in some
Radiant
online tournaments in
team
Europe, we saw some mid Phoenix. They could definitely still
I don't-
decide to do something like that. But yeah,
I don't think
it's
I don't think the
unlikely.
time is ripe for the mid Phoenix right now.
No,
No, I don't.
time's always ripe for some interesting mid heroes, in my opinion.
One win away from the major. That's what J.Strom is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Sven supports. A lot of teams seem to highly value this hero. And I
Is
get
it
it
damage
on
shield?
paper with the war
5
cry. Yeah,
seconds
the war cry
remaining.
is the biggest thing. But the
The
success rate at the China Major, as much as we saw him, I think he had something like a 35, 38% win percentage. So I do feel like the hero was being overplayed a bit more than maybe he should have been. But again, J.Strom clearly still likes it here as they pick him up with the Phoenix. I do think the core Sven, excuse me, is something to keep in mind as well.
10 seconds
but
remaining.
more than likely will be that support role.
5 seconds remaining.
So go
All right,
Medusa
so we've
ban.
got the supports picked up for the side of J.Strom, and then we've got one support picked up for Flying Penguins, and of course the off lane. So
Interesting.
how are they going to build the rest of their draft? I guess on J.Strom is my next
Well,
question.
they banned a Weaver on the side of Flying Penguins.
Okay.
And I'm trying to, well, yeah, what do I think of that? I don't know. Like, why? You know what?
Who would ever
Who
want
is
to pick
Weaver?
that hero? Oh, wow.
I'll leave
Okay.
it.
They get a Bryolina. Bryle's very good with this hero.
Yeah.
I've seen him go off with this quite a few times. So
It's
pretty
early
close.
mid
Very early,
pickup.
though. I'm not sure why they decided to go with this Lena
Well,
now.
that must mean that it's not guaranteed to be mid.
Possibly.
True.
Keeping their
10
options open, I
seconds
suppose, but that is a
course,
third pick Lena.
5
Like
seconds
as a mid hero in general, of course, it's very hard to counterpick Lina,
Mm-hmm.
just because she's going to be spamming out the wave, farming up in the jungle instead, and she'll always outrange you. So
Still an OD, too, which is kind of surprising. That's been very, very popular.
yeah, but that's one of the reasons why you could pick up a Lina that early. Nobody's going to pick an OD into the Lina.
Right. Well, they could, but
Radiant
Not
They
defense.
could.
advised.
They
Not
could be
advised,
extremely
but-
courageous.
do get the
I've-
Tusk pickup. It's going to be a
Yeah, a hero we haven't
Flea
seen
Tusk.
very often anymore. Last time I believe actually was in that in a game where J.Strom beat it in the tri lane. Yeah. the
I
Warlock
guess it
game.
would probably be, well, we'll put it over here for now, but
More than likely going
10
to be that
seconds
Darkseer trying
remaining.
to solo and then some form of a tri lane
yeah.
on the safe lane.
5
Either that or
seconds
of course the
remaining.
aggressive tri lane.
Well, I mean, you put the tag team out, and then you just line up with the, or rather the shards too, right? With the Keeper of the Light, and
Yep.
you can almost guarantee a full illuminate as long as you're coordinated properly.
Yes. And they
Oh.
can put pretty much any kind of relatively fast carry with that. Although a lot of the carries that would go well with that have been taken out. PA's out, CK's out, Lifestealer's out. They could go with an Ursa? Ursa tri lane? Not so sure about that. In this case, it might work a lot better, though.
Well, I mean, I go back to the Weaver ban, and on a serious note, I'm really wondering why they would ban Weaver in the sense that are they planning to pick a hero that can be somewhat kited, you know, something like maybe like a Wraith King. I'm not saying they're going to pick up a Wraith King, but along those lines. So I'm almost expecting a very off-the-wall core pick here from Flying Penguins.
Could be. Also makes sense in that if you want a lane to trade against a Darkseer, perhaps a Weaver solo could do very well as well. Weaver
Okay.
held up very decently against the Forev Necrophos earlier, though not, it wasn't ideal by any means.
40 seconds already reserve time for J.Strom, so they're losing time fast. Pig don't care. You chilling.
All the time in the world if you're a pig.
Pig just dreaming about what it'd be like if it actually had fingers and could play Dota. His
Man,
hooves are not
yeah,
very.
that's
His MMR is
true.
suffering quite badly because of the the lack of fingers.
And Ice Frog keeps giving all these heroes more buttons.
I know.
What's a pig to do?
I know.
Timbersaw.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I believe that is yours still.
Oh,
good
yes.
sir.
Why do I keep sitting down?
It's,
It's interesting. Usually, Lena, Timbersaw, these are heroes that maybe we see in reaction to certain picks, but these are both right now picked as
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure where to see the Timbersaw,
Well,
actually. Again, it could interchange quite a bit. I guess the
5
off
seconds
lanes,
remaining.
most likely, but
possibility? Sure. Like, of course, Lina, you can take down the Ignis with, right? Timbersaw, there's not a lot of lockdown save for this Tusk and as well as the Ignis again. But you can just Timber Chain out of the Ignis. You can Timber Chain out of the...
okay.
So I see it, yeah. And let's give you the Phoenix. I'm thinking about tri-lanes again.
Yeah.
Tri-lanes.
Maybe it is on that. Yes, you're getting at. Maybe it is a bit like the whole. We need an egg hitter logic. It's we need an Ignis hitter, and that goes back to the Lena pick. Mm-hmm. She's actually really good for that.
So I'm anticipating J.Strom. They've got the overall last pick now as well, so they're going to pick up their carry for that most presumably. got their outer lane sorted out. And then on the other side, Flying Penguins, they already have that solo laner. Puck?
Okay. Have we seen a Gunnar Puck? I forget.
I don't recall seeing it yesterday, at least.
Because I know he played Ember one game. What else?
He played Kunkka.
Kunkka.
That was
That's the other hero that he's well known for.
So not yet, but I definitely know that he
10 seconds remaining.
has a good reputation on the puck as well.
Magic damage in general, good against Timbersaw, good locked in with the Dream Coil. And figuring the Lina matchup fares pretty well.
There's a lot of magic damage, though, coming out from this team right now.
Yeah.
It's a bit worrisome.
Now, I mean, you're against a Timbersaw, so right now it's actually not the worst thing in the world, but you got to figure this is going to be a hero that final pick for J.Strom that, they might want to think about that. Yeah, that's going to get a BKB sooner than later, so.
Interesting. Like, I'm coming back to that Ursa thought again, just because, you know, physical damage. I think the burst, you also want to still be able to take down that Phoenix Egg as well. They don't really have anything for that right now either. Maybe they're just looking to not engage in those fights at all. Or, I don't know, we're going to have the double orb action again. With both the Phoenix Egg and the Ignis being on top of each other and both teams trying to hit the other's orb first. It's going to be something.
I mean, there's still, I don't know if I like it, but there's an Arc Warden in the pool. That's always pretty good about hitting an egg. But I'm not really sold on that idea. They go for Spectre.
This is an EE specialty.
All right. Spectre.
You know, of course, you can't forget that you're dealing with Eternal Envy here, not actually with just any carry player.
Right. All right. That's not a hero we've seen.
Yeah, give me that Tusk, I think, as well.
10 seconds remaining.
There's not much lockdown coming out from Flying Penguins, though, is the thing that I am most concerned about. That and, you know, making it late enough with the Spectre to make her actually... Although with our last game, it was very late, so... Go for the Necro again.
And I guess they were, like, with it, the Spectre pick kind of asked for it, right? Because you have that much HP, if you chew through half of it, you get the Necrophos to take care of the rest.
So Moo Timbersaw.
All right.
We're likely going to see instead. And then, yeah, the Necrophos off lane.
Yeah.
And
Forev Necrophos.
Two extremely tanky frontliners in front of that Lina, who's going to be able to dish out a hefty amount of damage. And actually, there's going to be the Sven as well with the War Cry armor. It is going to be extremely hard for this Flying Penguins lineup to burst through all of that, I believe. It's looking pretty rough.
Again, though, we've got a lot of magic damage.
How to lane this, though?
Coming out from the side of J.Strom now.
I would think it's Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I'm gonna...
They might do dual lanes now.
Not very neat, but...
They might do dual lanes now with the Necrophos. Because you have a Necro and a Timber, so that usually want a solo. So I could see them kind of, you know, cutting that in half, right? Instead of just going for the dual lanes.
Yes, and the Spectre, like the Darkseer is most likely going to want to be alone, although you could also play behind the tower with the Tusk. That's still possible. I think that for Flying Penguins right now, they can look at it reactively. They're going to try to get the information and then see how they lane it. And the decision is really up to J.Strom. Yeah, I think that dual lanes are probably the best choice for them.
All right, well, let's get some predictions.
J.Strom for me, it's honestly an easy one for me. They did not answer the egg necessarily. I know this is an Eternal Envy specialty with the Spectre, but not really a relevant hero right now. And they have a Necrophos who's actually pretty good at dealing with the Spectre because he's known for being extra tanky, and that's what Necrophos shines with. So I really like J.Strom's lineup a bit more than the last game.
All right, we'll go with J.Strom for Breaky. What about you, Kips?
I went against the ease of execution for J.Strom the last time. I don't think I'm going to do that again. Their lineup makes a lot of sense to me. They've got good answers for their problems. J.Strom?
Okay. I'm going to have to go with J.Strom, too. I'm just liking their draft a little bit better. I've seen Brile on that Lina before, and of course, the Moo Timbersaw is a very big specialty. The Necrophos makes a lot of sense, and just everything kind of just lines up for them, so... All right, let's see if J.Strom can 2-0 Flying Penguins. I want to believe in the Penguins, though. You know, I want to see this open qualifier stack go to the major, but I think they might need to slog through a couple more teams before they can possibly achieve that. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's play out the game now. We have been wrong before.
There is a lot of wave push on the side of Flying Penguin, so I can see this Buck and this Dusk as well as the Coddle, Darkseer. They can all take care of these waves and try to buy time for the Spectre if things go south. They'll also have, of course, with the Spectre, that global presence, something that EE in general is very fond of. But on the other hand, lots of boots of travel buyers on the side of J.Strom as well. It's something that you really want to do if you're up against an EE team. Just go those BOTs early. They are going to be trying to really get ahead of you on the map.
Oh, damn.
Timber
It's a Brile Timber.
Brile Timber, yeah.
All right.
So wait, who's Moo playing? So Moo's on Lena?
No.
I wasn't paying attention to the scoreboard there, honestly. Wait,
Fear
that's
on
not support. It is a course. Okay, so I was thinking that at the end of the draft, but honestly, I looked at the Dire lineup, and CORSAIR doesn't seem that good. You're dealing with so much kite potential already from that team, from Darkseer Surge to, you know, Tush Shards, etc. to, you know, I can go on and on, Dreamquill, that I was certain we were not going to see that.
The lanes make a lot more sense like this, though.
Sure, the lanes make more sense, but I don't know if I like the CORSAIR idea, though, in the long run.
The dive over here onto Forev. They're just going to keep cutting the wave here. And the tag team coming out will force out the Icarus dive. That's a long cooldown for that particular spell.
So that was very briefly the Coddle down here as well. So they left the Spectre alone on top for a little bit. And yeah, I guess not too much pressure coming out from this Sven-Lina lane just yet, as long as you avoid getting stunned.
So this is a pretty good matchup here for Brile, just because of the Puck, you know, wanting to try to cause some problems, trying to put some pressure over onto Timber. But of course, Timber with the reactive armor doesn't really care. He's like, go ahead, hit me.
I double dare ya.
Yeah, pretty much. Already we're seeing the issue coming out with this particular lineup. They have to keep that courier pretty far back here. Gunnar can't access it right now.
I'm just still stuck on this course. Oh.
Brecky's like, I take it back.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of do. Like, I really just, but okay. We'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Yes. They're going to be a bit less good at taking care of the Ignis, and the Ignis has been like valued up in that sense. On the other hand, Sven, of course, is a natural flash farmer, and if you want to beat the Spectre, you're usually gonna do it on timing. And of course, she's probably gives you the biggest window out of everyone. Spectre's like, you know, you got almost until 40 minutes to win sometimes. Yeah. Don't even have to do it in like 30 or 35. 40 is fine.
I will say, Spectre Radiance is that much more value too if he chooses to go for that with. And what we have been seeing recently, I got to assume that Spectre Radiance is likely here. But BKB, I'm sure, will be picked up on Sven though eventually. Still won't be an ultimate answer, but
they're going to have the burst. They're going to have the disables. Like I see the pros and cons of it. And, you know, I definitely see the cons for poor March here, who is just getting run down.
He's got Icarus.
Still, he's doing what he can, I guess.
Yeah,
but he's also not getting anything.
True, that is a big problem. But he is allowing it so that his core can do some farming. Eliminate coming through. Stormhammer gonna land over here onto Envy, fall with the Light Strike Array, and that is our first blood. Oh, and tip coming out.
from Brile. It's just like randomly. Hey, somebody tip him.
That's just Brile.
And no early point from Snake into that blinding light. He went for the full-on aggressive. Like, I guess I can see that as well, because this Sven's naturally going to push the wave. You want to not be shoved under your tower, so you're going to push the wave right back with that Illuminate.
Yeah, poor March, this little birdie, sitting at level 2 at least now. But pretty much forced back out of this lane. How is, I'm guessing Necropose is doing just fine though, despite the fact that
doing okay.
The waves have been a little bit wonky. Yeah, he's sitting at 17-0 right now for CS, so.
He can sustain through those creeps under his tower very well.
And you just know that Lullis is just going to wash, rinse, repeat over here with his good friend Husky Tusky.
Speaking of, says hello to Phoenix. I'm just going to scare him off. Have to put another sentry down. Still another minute before the bounty rings, though.
I'm not exactly sure if that sentry blocked or not. Might just be checking for vision behind the tower. Yeah, it does. So he's trying to avoid at least Lullis pulling into that camp over there. They don't want to get him any more farmed than he already is.
They found, I think there was like a stack over in the small camp earlier too that he was able to take advantage of with the Tusk. So it's going quite well for him, 32-0. Top lane, Stormhammer coming out again here over onto Envy. Not going to be able to have that Light Strike Array.
The range of that Ras on his Lina is making life difficult for them.
I'm loving that we're seeing some really interesting positions. Oh, the Light Strike Array, Envy, Envy, Envy. Luckily, not enough mana to go for that Stormhammer right now, or else he would be very, very dead.
Oh yeah, I was looking for the mango, but yeah, no mango either. He's ate them all up. Eaten them all up.
Oh, mangoes are delicious. I can't say I blame him.
Oh man, I miss the Philippine mangoes.
Philippine mangoes are the best, I think.
Pity anyone who has never tasted the fruit of the gods.
Again, middle lane, Gunnar just trying his best to stay alive, harass Bryle as much, but we do have 10 stacks of reactive here, and he's just ring around a Rosie with Mr. Puck.
So Timber Saw just not afraid to play in the tower, as he shouldn't be with level 3 reactive armor.
Well, Gunnar's at least keeping his CS up, but he's probably also been ferrying himself a lot of regen to be able to stay in this lane at all.
Yeah, he's got an empty bottle right now.
Yep, you can see it by the net worth efficiency.
Top lane just Envy, he's just not finding any space up here. Again, the range coming out from Lina, of course, is pretty big. Light Strike Array, and he's going to try to juke himself around into the corner, but you know what? They have a Dragon Slave there, and Bryle's just continuously spending all of his pips to Envy.
This is how we do
Bryle.
it. This is for the big stuff. This is for the major. You gotta use
everything available. I want to see some more pigs being thrown out here, trying to mess up some CS. Bryle, the body.
Really?
Get Dream Coiled and everything. I don't think he's particularly afraid, though.
No, he's definitely not.
I think this Tusk should be afraid.
Yeah, that was to get the that was to get the rune for Puck, and then Fleet still ended up picking it up after all of that.
I feel like they're memeing a little bit over here too with Bryle.
Well, yeah, of course. He's going to have to be as annoying as possible. As after all, this is a pretty good Timbersaw game so far, and actually, I'm saying so far, it's going to be a very good Timbersaw game in general.
Yeah, that's why I was mentioning with this draft, and the Spectre didn't necessarily mean it wasn't like the biggest threat, especially if he goes that Radiance build. You know, again, it's not going to be too worrisome for Bryle.
Gunnar's not in that much danger, but never mind. I lied. Gunnar's dead.
I think that Gunnar didn't expect it himself either.
Yeah, Fear, though, might be in for some nice Light Strike Array coming through. Won't be able to land the Stormhammer. Still going to be able to take down the Lina, though. So, finally.
Yeah, I did actually expect this to be a tri-lane from the start. But I'm guessing they really wanted to, you know, bother March on bot and make sure that Lelis got his items up first. He's got Mana Boots and the Soul Ring. Man's ridiculously rich. So, they're going to have some team items up very fast, I'm sure.
Mana boost completed now for Bryle. He's going to keep poking away, and eventually, you know, this tower will go down because when you have that many creeps just being cleared out that quickly, it's going to put a dent in your buildings.
I would like to see much more of a team-focused build by Forev this game on the Necrophos. In last game, again, he highly prioritized the Lotus Orb especially, which is definitely a utility tool, but I think, again, those auras.
Himself,
exactly, it was mostly for himself. So things like the pipe, especially this game, really comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Crimson Guard, etc.
Oh, March tried to get himself out. Dream Coil gets used, though, by Gunnar.
Yeah, second Dream Coil that essentially does nothing for Gunnar.
Top lane again. They just keep jumping over here onto Eternal Envy. Warcry coming out from Moo.
Yes.
Looks like Envy's going to be able to walk himself away. Flea taking a decent chunk of damage, but they're not going to dive this tower.
Did they use the shrine yet? Otherwise, this is a moment where they're going to...
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Shrine has been used, so... kind of getting chased out of his... He is going to lose the tower eventually. And there's nothing really that Flying Penguins can do about it. Both of their supports are needed on top to protect his still very fragile Spectre. And Bryle's having the time of
He's going to try to push out the lane.
Bryle's just going to chop down every single one of these trees in the mid lane.
The supports are here now. Does this mean that Eternal Envy is jungling?
That's one way to do it. Looks like he's doing a pull at least, or trying.
This is
something.
They're going to take advantage of this the second that they...
That is just sad.
Yeah.
Coddle's getting pretty close to his last hits.
Drawing a line down to the bottom lane, so I guess they want to try to address this Necrophos now, but I mean, pick your poison, right? Necrophos or Timbersaw. Doesn't have Ghost Shroud yet.
And it is around 10 minutes. I imagine that Forev feels this coming by a mile away.
I mean, he's hiding in the trees. I would assume that was the case.
He just smells him coming from him.
In comes Lelis. In comes a snowball. It's actually Gunner down here as well. This is a big gank coming out. We'll be able to use the Dream Coil. He's waiting. Rift comes through. Speed coming out. Snaking actually going to fall. The top lane. Icarus Dive burns him down just a little bit, but...
That Necrophos is just too tanky. So that was the attempt at the tower trade coming out from Flying Penguins, and it really, they barely
tower last hit.
I think they're realizing that that's them, and you got to applaud the effort, right? Because, you know, what else are they going to do? But they're realizing really quickly in this game that this might be a bit of an outdraft. I mean, they're down to 5,000 net worth at 10 minutes into the game. And yeah, I was talking about the Sven core maybe not being as big of a fan of that, but that's not until the later game if it happens to be competitive. This is just going to be a runaway at this point.
They just can't protect Envy. This is the big issue with this. They can't protect Envy. They've got like all magic damage coming out from the side of Flying Penguins. Do you see a TP coming out though from the puck? Gunner will be able to land the Dream Coil. I don't know if they're going to be able to actually do much with this Dream Coil though. Again, it's just going to hold them into place. They don't even seem afraid. They're not running away.
Timbersaw's coming.
Yeah, like, Brawl's like, what's up? There's a party going on? I wasn't invited? Let's go.
A Dream Coil without me?
Yeah, I mean, he's slaying his lane.
Yeah. And
he's not concerned.
I think he's also going to be slaying that mid tower sometime soon. And he got exactly 0 help with that.
No.
J.Strom have been greatly optimizing.
Yeah, this tower's almost down here in the mid lane.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Get the treads finished up though?
Well, at least Snaking is getting to do that. Oh,
bottom lane. Icarus Dive coming out though. March trying to go a little bit deeper, trying to just path up.
And he's left the game.
He's taken down by Lelis.
That is, you know, I've always wondered if that really should be in the game or not.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he still gets taken down. But yeah, that did look pretty ridiculous. We have liftoff. Eternal Envy, what are you doing down here, buddy? You are just...
What? I really expected a scythe to drop there. What's,
I don't know. I do not know.
Why does Eternal Envy get to live? Tell me. Tell me forever.
Feels bad.
Tower doesn't get taken down. They didn't manage to get the denial on it.
He did that in the previous game, so he's been very consistent with sticking it out under these towers, just surviving until they nearly go down, and then denying the enemy.
Can we talk about how Brile has an entire Holy Locket?
Yeah, there's the Holy Locket once again.
Yeah.
And this wasn't Brile on Timbersaw, was it? It was somebody else, right?
This is 12 minutes and he has a Holy Locket, Arcane Boots.
So I guess it's Holy Locket's considered pretty good on this hero.
Yes, it is.
If you have regen in general.
Yeah.
Reactive armor.
I hear a God Strength going on. Just gonna farm up this big old stack. Family that farms together stays together, right?
Yeah, you got a Vlad's. Vlad's first item for Sven.
That feels good.
It's like a support Sven, but helps enhance his own farm a lot. Obviously with that level 4 Greater Cleave.
Honestly, you could just keep Brile up here and just have him run at Envy the entire time, and I don't think they could do much of anything about it. Like, look at Envy. He's just like, all right, well,
I can't lane here anymore.
Not sure what I'm doing. Got to figure out a different plan B, guys.
Yeah, but there is no plan B.
Yeah.
You lose this map.
But
try to stay positive here,
Kips. But Kips, that means the series is over.
That means that Eternal Envy's got to do Eternal Envy things.
That was just like this is just. I mean,
that's the speed creep too.
Yeah, the Iron Shell can't even keep up with it. That's hilarious.
Seems balanced. You know, at least Lelis is having fun. I think.
He is. He's having a lot of fun, and Envy is not. Again, like I said, you just have this Timbersaw up here in the top lane, just hunting Envy constantly.
He's up against 3 heroes now.
All right.
So what are they gonna do?
What are they gonna do?
4 heroes.
4 heroes
here we go.
now. Envy would be here too if he was still alive. They use the wall on him. Brile's still alive. They'll get the snowball. He's just slowly walking towards the tower. Timber Chain comes out again. Illuminate not going to connect over here. Gunner still chasing him down. He's got one charge. He's got the Holy Locket. This guy is not afraid. He's just going to yo-yo his way out of here. Envy joining in the throng. There's going to be heal coming out from the Laguna right to the face. Lelis is just erased.
That was Fear taking down the most farmed hero on the side of Flying Penguins in 2 shots.
Yep.
I mean, he was granted, he was kind of low from the Timber Saw, but that's a... Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
You're the coach of this team, Kips. What do you
What
tell
do you
your
do?
team?
Well, okay. Let me think here.
There's always next season.
There is, yeah. Like, sometimes you got to take your losses, right? But as long as you're in the game, you're going for it. No giving up yet. Something that you could do is you could start cutting waves way forward. Eternal Envy probably also could try to farm somewhere in the Radiant jungle, and you know, in case of really bad situations, he could try to haunt out still. I'd like to see, with the nighttime coming up now, some form of smoke play, perhaps. Although it's very hard to see who they would kill on the Radiant side. Lina, so Fear would be your most obvious target. The rest of them are nigh unkillable. If you get a silence on the Phoenix, maybe?
Getting bullied out of their own jungle here. And look at Forev, he's so confident right now. He's just going to run right up here, going to poke away at Gunner. And again, like you said, he's got a pipe. He's not going to take hardly any damage from this magic-based squad.
Yeah, the pipe's just really good this game.
This was...
under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's middle
Not much
tower
else to
is
say
under
there.
attack.
It's
Brow's not going to leave that top lane for anything.
He's just going to hunt Envy, honestly. Like, he could just stay there in that top lane and just take the tower, which, you know, most likely is what he's doing anyways. But the second that Envy tries to walk away, tries to find more space, bro, someone is just going to be on his butt.
Probably.
And he's just going to take away the jungle, too. Like, there's nothing here. Envy is being completely starved. Do you see how he's over by his tower? Because he's just trying to get whatever scraps the Radiant is willing to give him at this point. It's like...
Well, you know, Brawl is probably going to be consistently pushing that lane.
Yeah.
where's my plus 50 damage? That's what Lena's saying.
She doesn't need it.
In that deep voice, too.
Weird. Plus. Get some sass.
That's what we're going to call it. Yes, it's not looking good. They're already...
Their lineup has so few contingencies built in either. It's like, normally if you have some kind of, you know, a really big ult, like say a Tidehunter or something, you can do that choke point fight thing. Or say you have a lot of tower damage on someone, you can put 4 heroes on one lane and then try to crush some towers on the other lane. There's not a lot of wiggle room in this draft to play your way out of anything.
And I remember that was a big thing that we were discussing earlier, right? Is that if you're going to have, you know, a draft that you think you might start to fall behind on, then you need to make some sort of contingency, some sort of choke point advantage so you can take these fights. But like you said, it's not really built into this. It's all magical damage. You've got a full pipe already on Forev, which is huge.
Yes, and you know they run this Necrolite.
Yeah. Yep.
You basically handed them a draft where that was once again a great pick. It's got to feel rough to be on to be a Flying Penguin right about now.
Yeah, look at the Spear, Light Striker. Right, not going to connect. We'll just scare Envy off a little bit here. And Bryle has just permanently set up residence in this jungle. There is no farm here for Envy at all.
That man's got too much health.
And even if you go bottom, there's just a Necrophos there half the time. Taunt comes out, though. Looks like they're trying to make something happen over here. Nice Ignis getting dropped, and they might be able to find themselves a kill over here onto Moo.
All right.
But they use...
That's the way to go. Well, yeah, you drop everything.
3. Yeah.
It's good.
Have
it's good.
to.
I think they waited until the Warcry was off as well.
Oh, they might be able to find...
skill?
Yeah, they find the Phoenix, too.
Nice.
So that is very well done by Flying Penguins, and they can turn this into a push, which is very much needed. They do have to be careful, though, because this Timber Saw Bryle is like, what's going on in my tower?
And now you run away.
And that's a little bit of an issue, then, because they're able to take this fight, but they aren't able to get any sort of objective off of it.
Yes. Well, if they're able to do this like 5 times more...
Will they have time to do 5 times more is the next question.
Exactly. Well, you never know. Sometimes when a game goes too smoothly, the winning team gets kind of weirded out because their rhythm is all off. And things start to happen. Of course, these pickups kind of didn't need to happen in the first place. Normally when all 5 enemy heroes are like converging like that, some of them are off the map, others are clearly homing in on you. Some bells start to ring. But as I said it myself, oh, they're all nigh unkillable. What's going to happen? well, this is gonna happen.
Spectre did go drums. It's a great recovery item. Slash, I actually like to see it on Spectre in general. It was more of a normal game, the idea that he could be haunting and assisting in kills sooner than later. But again, in this, it's purely recovery, I'm sure. Just needs kind of a stat-based item that'll help him flash farm a little bit.
Let's see, and I'm wondering a little bit what J.Strom is waiting for next, because they have this unkillable Timbersaw. We saw him literally run away from 5 heroes before.
Oh, it's gonna be Roche. That's what they're waiting for.
Yes.
Yeah, we've actually got the Bloodstone picked up now in the Timbersaw. So before it was just he had all the health in the world because he had the Holy Locket, but now he's also gonna have that Bloodstone too to help keep that mana pool up and running.
It's the case of you just got to ignore him the best you can, lock him down, and ignore him. No.
Oh, ooh.
Well,
Almost, Gunnar.
but that kind of goes back to one of the bigger weaknesses of flying penguins here is their lockdown is not the best. And, you know, again, we stressed out with the draft in the first place, whether or not it was going to be a Corsair or Coralina, it didn't matter. It just, as the overall hero pool at the Radiant side, just seemed like it outmatched what was brought by the Dire.
Yeah, they did manage to get the tower over in the mid lane finally. The issue was just they don't have Haunt up, right? They don't have Haunt. Envy can't really fight anyways. It has 16 seconds on it. Okay, so that's not too shabby, but I'm just trying to figure out how they defend.
J.Strom right now has an Aegis. They have a mech over on this Necrophos. They have Vlads as well. It is... They're gonna need to click for quite a long time to get through these base towers. And the Coddle, for example, is just blatantly cutting the mid wave.
Yeah.
No, they've got a wave top though, so doesn't seem to be too concerned about that.
I think that's why they were even purposely pushing in 2 lanes like that, just in case.
Yes, it's...
Oh, Envy, there's the Scythe. Not going to be able to quite do enough damage thanks to those creeps popping at the last second. Lelis running forward, will be able to throw out the Chakram. And Bryle's just chasing after him over here.
Yeah, Brace is going to be up into their faces all the time. And, well, you were saying before, you just got to ignore the Timbersaw as best you can.
You can't when he's running at you in your face like this. He's just sees one person, decides to go right in. They've already dropped the wall. They've got Haunt up, but I don't think it's going to do a whole heck of a lot of anything. The Slimes is going to get placed over onto the Timber. They're just running around in circles. Okay, they're going to go try to jump Fear here. And he's sitting pretty low. Egg's going to come out. Fear going to get dragged back in by this Ignis. Does have that Laguna. He's going to be able to get it off. Will get taken down, but will take someone out with him. And now it feels like they're kind of out of... Okay, that Timber Chain did not connect. I think that would have been a very dead Lelis had it been able to do it. So they did manage to take down the Phoenix. They took down Fear. But again, you still have these very tanky other heroes that you just really, you struggle to put a dent in.
It's a start.
Gunnar coming up from the other side. Won't be able to get the Waning Rift off. They don't care.
He got the creep wave as well, so in a couple of seconds, hopefully the backdoor regen is going to come back up.
Sure.
And J.Strom are going to call it the day for now. I think that's fair. The engagement from Flying Penguins was about as good as could be expected. They dropped all the ultimates. They got the 2 kills that they can get. And the chase is on.
Yeah, maybe that's Ferev. Yeah, Ferev is going to have to go shroud himself up. And we'll get Walrus punched. May actually end up being a kill here.
Port's coming. Serve long enough. Can't make it there.
No, probably shouldn't have been there at that point either.
And I still think that, you know, on one hand, you have some space if you're J.Strom. On the other hand, pickups like this shouldn't really be happening. It feels like they're kind of already celebrating.
Sometimes you get the teams that get a bit complacent, right? Where they're
it's not even complacent. They're enjoying themselves too much and not really thinking about the consequences.
How dare they enjoy themselves?
Yeah, not allowed. There's a good way of enjoying yourself, right? What you do through a lot of very tight training is you instill in people the idea that, you know, training's not as much fun, but, you know, in the officials, you're going to know exactly what your limits are, and you're going to have fun by winning there. You've heard me say this so often. Winning is fun. It is. And so fun and winning, like fun and playing tight, I should say, should not be mutually exclusive. And I think Liquid in their heyday were like the champions of this. You could see them grinning, smiling, laughing, while doing things that were actually very complicated. But one of those reasons is because Kuroki is a drill sergeant. Yep. And their trainings are not a lot of fun, so they get to have fun in the officials, but they're not making any mistakes.
Right.
They're not actually being casual about it.
Because they've already been drilled so hard that they know what they're doing. It becomes almost like a muscle memory in a sense.
Exactly.
Right.
And they know very well when to, you know, switch from jokes to actual serious commentary.
Look at where Puck is, all the way at the tier 3 down there. You got Darkseer cut in that mid lane.
What else are you going to do? Godstrings?
Again, they are actually playing this very well, being down by a massive lead early on in the game.
Yes.
It's like, if you want to understand how you can stay in a game, this is a game to watch.
All right, and now Brow's just trying to find out how much he can tank.
Ooh, Brow didn't actually connect though.
Spirit Vessel.
Spirit Vessel doing quite a bit. There's going to be coming forward. They've got that Ignis here. Sleep coming through again. Snowball rolling out. This might actually be the final death here at Brow. Yeah, they finally take him down. It's going to be a big killing spree taken out.
The base tower did fall in the meanwhile.
Yeah, nice vacuum coming back here. Eternal Envy running around in circles trying to see if he can get anything else done. But looks like the rest of the team will just walk away. Age is going to get reclaimed.
Rev just narrowly escapes getting caught there, but
he still might be caught, honestly. Oh, Surge coming out there, turns its attention over here to Fear. Will pull out that Yules. Buy a little bit more time. Rev is still just walking around behind. I guess they're gonna chase after. Okay, they do end up chasing after him. Lightstrike Array followed up with this Phoenix Sunray coming through. Again, Walrus Punch will get used over onto Ferev.
He is so tacky.
This is turning out to be such a sloppy fight right now. Yeah, Ferev still alive and kicking. Gunnar was trying to make some sort of a play here over onto the Lina. Isn't going to be able to find it. And Lucifer coming out. We'll connect the Stormhammer over onto Envy. Doesn't look like they're going to chase into that high ground, though.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to Flying Penguin. This is one of the best performances I've seen a team that's just been so dominated in all 3 lanes. And I think it's just a sign that this team and how good they actually are. And I know that's funny to say for a team that's about to possibly lose a series 2-0, but they're playing this very, very well. And the only reason why we still are in this game is because of they're still trying, and as they should be with cutting and
major.
Yeah, spot for the major. I mean, and they actually still have a chance though because of how well they're playing this.
Got strength again coming out from Moo. We'll be able to stun up Envy right away. They've got the Sunray, just keeping him alive here. Bryle gonna Timber Chain in. This Reorb getting thrown out here. Dodging that Light Strike Array.
And the Ignis is down now, so
yeah, that's pretty
no
big.
more of that.
Stun gonna connect over here. Timber Chain going through here as Bryle. This is back up. They'll go ahead, they'll drop the wall. They have to be careful here that they don't take another bad fight. Here, walking himself away. They do manage to take down the egg over on the back lines. Laguna's coming out. Oh, but he's going to be able to keep that puck alive. Meanwhile, in the base, Ferev is just a survivor for sure. Gunnar going to get taken down immediately, buying himself back. Light Strike Array will come through, and they'll be able to get the kill. Bryle actually cleaning up over. And now Eternal Envy, he's stuck in the... Oh, man, he's just going to have to flee. He's got to run himself away here. There's just too many heroes that are still alive. They're getting constantly healed up by Ferev. Bryle doesn't really want to walk through that wall, but Lina, meanwhile, can just hang back here, chip away at it, illuminate, doing a bit of damage. Moo walking around this wall. Nice vacuum coming through. We'll be able to pull them all in. Also with the Waning Rift. Gunnar just trying to push them again. We'll be able to get that Rax. And there's Lella stuck in the middle of everything here. He does actually sprint out at the last second, though. It's a speed dimming. There's going to be another Timber Chain. But again, this is just such a sloppy, like, hairy kind of fight. Like, they keep going in, out, trying to decide, you know.
Yeah, and I think I was underestimating how much cooldown there was left on the Ignis just because of how long the previous chase lasted as well. I was like, no, it was only like a minute ago that they were still in the Dire base. No, that was 2 minutes now. Ignis is back up. But Dire...
They're going right back in again.
Yeah, of course. And
they just can't fight on the side of Flying Penguins. They try, but they're just poking and prodding. It feels like Gunnar, again, just, you know, this chakram being thrown in and out. The tower's just getting wailed on back here. And they do spot out Lella. Snowball comes in. We'll be able to keep them alive from that Light Strike Array. They're going to be able to stun up the Lina, but the Phoenix jumping in. We'll be able to get the Dream Coil off. And now the Laguna coming out. Can they finally finish up Lellis? No, they're not going to be able to, but Bryle still running forward. Isn't going to be able to land that Timber Chain. So many trees left over here right now. And Gunnar trying to just zip himself away, has that blink online, keeping him alive. And this is just turning into a chase as they run around and jump after Heroes. Eternal Envy in for a little bit of trouble, but they don't have any lockdown just yet. He's going to be able to walk away. Snake King also just trying to boop them off this tower, but that's going to be the next tower that falls here. And just eyes on the prize right now. Another beautiful vacuum into the Ignis, into the wall. Egg's going to get used over here by March, but it's totally separate, but it will draw their attention. So Phoenix is going to get taken down. Forever taking a little bit of a nap here as he keeps looking, but the Yules comes up. Moose still on that low ground. Is going to be able to go throughout the Stormhammer. It's a lot of people here. The Spectre, Envy trying again to just put out as much damage as he can, but it still doesn't have a whole heck of a lot. Gunnar running himself out. Snowball's going to come in over onto Forever.
Eternal Envy Scythe.
No, they're going to just go right back in again. They've got their eyes over here onto this Tusk. Throwing out the Illusory Orb, going to jaunt away. Another Illuminate being thrown, and the Walrus Punch comes out, but I think Bryle, can he find that Chakram? Can he get there fast enough to flee? He's just going to give up, it looks like.
His team's getting chased out over on the other side.
They're all over the place in this fight. Again, the tip comes out from Flea over to Bryle. They have the TP, they have the Light Striker, right? They see Envy up there. Oh, the Blinding Light might buy him a little bit more time. The Chakram will actually get chased down, but there's the Scythe. Not quite enough damage done just yet. Another Dream Coil coming out here. 4-man Dream Coil trying to go and snap it using that vacuum. Not going to be able to do it. They throw out the Illuminate, and Snake King just going to have to run himself back into the base. The heals coming out from the Phoenix. They land the Light Striker right with a Laguna. Fear is going to be able to finally take down Snake King. Snake King is down now. No buybacks. Chasing after Gunnar. Gunner's just running back and forth and all over the place. Envy jumping forward, has his eyes on Fear. Finally will be able to take down the Lina. There's going to be the Snowball coming through. Walrus Punch connecting as well. Take down the Phoenix. And now Moo, he's popped that BKB. He wants to finish up. Envy trying to run away. Look how speedy he is, but he can't run from the Timber Saw. There it is, that Timber Chain going through and the Whirling Death.
I mean, it's a 2-hero kill lead. Like, I go back to you. This is absolute insane how Flying Penguins is playing this. But it's again, at this, it feels like it's going to be a losing effort, of course. But they have to be proud of, obviously.
Oh yeah, that Surge. The Surge and the Ion Shell. Just throw out the Stormhammers. They cut it out, Envy. We're walking away now.
They are finally done. There is like 0 building damage on the side of J.Strom.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. And, you know, I think we started this entire thing off with the Radiant side. All right, they lost the base tower to creeps. That's what happened. I think they started this off by trying to go for the mid-racks, and the mid-racks are still up there.
Yeah.
The actual damage was just done by creeps. It is absolutely bonkers. I've never seen a game like this.
What has Sven built? Like, what is he helping with that idea? He went BKB with SNY. Gonna go Heart next, so yeah, he's not necessarily enhancing just to beat those down, but...
So he's going all in on the can't kill me idea.
Yeah.
Which has been holding up so far.
Yeah, I guess he gets a double damage run over here too. So it's gonna be the Cheese and the Aegis. Seeing Gunnar throwing out the Illusory Orb, seeing if he can maybe get a snatch or whatnot. They do go for a smoke. This is a scary fight, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
They have to.
They absolutely do, but it's still like very, very suspect. In fact, they actually walk out of the pit hoping to maybe grab someone ahead of time. In fact, they actually find over here. He's going to try to go use the Snowball. Bryle still standing there with the Whirling Death because he knows he's going backwards. Light Striker right with the Scythe coming through. Phoenix Egg actually gets used during all of this. There's going to be the buyback coming out from the Tusk. Everybody kind of running now. Gunnar already running away here from the Sven Illusion. I don't think he's the greatest target to try to chase after, but you have that buyback coming out from Tusk. Envy over here on the high ground is just going to chill out over there, but...
And so far, Flying Penguins has again stopped J.Strom from doing Roshan. They have
look at these creeps.
Base
look at these creeps.
Yeah, the tower's that's a tier 4.
Yeah, Envy's got to go home. Look, they just beat him up.
And he's the only one who can actually afford to go back because he still has that haunt up. He can join into the fight, but the Ignis is down now. Do they still have the Dream Coil?
They do. They have Dream Coil. They have Dream Coil, but they need to. They got to get. I don't think they can still go in this pit. I know that they need to fight it, but I don't know if they can. And especially if Snake King's going to get taken down right now. The Chakram does use the Force Staff. It's going to use the Blinding Light too. But again, Bryle just going to be rolling around in circles here. Still chasing after Snay. Is going to finally find that kill. So there's no Coddle now at all. And the rest of the side of Flying Penguins is just trying to run themselves out. Flea over here. It's going to use the Snowball. It's going to try to go over to the Creeps. And there's going to be the Timber Chain. The Icarus Dive coming out as well. They've got that Sunray and Light Striker Ray. Bryle gets himself yet another kill. Gunnar is just hanging out over here on the cliff. I don't even know what his plan is right now.
Snatch it. If they go for it,
do they even care now? You know, you've got the Tusk down, you've got the you got the Coddle. If they can grab Lelis here,
with the amount of tower damage you have, though.
Oh boy, that's gonna be the Yules coming through, the Laguna, the Light Strike, everything in the kitchen sink. There is no Darkseer up. Again, Gunnar standing over here, Forev just casually, you know, hitting Roche and waiting for the rest of his team to show up. They do have the wall. He's got to come back, though. He's got to take these creeps off the base, otherwise they're going to have a full naked throne.
Where is Eternal Envy? He's on the bot lane farming during all of this.
What else is he going to do? He's going to haunt him, maybe at the last second steal an Aegis, but that's the plan, apparently. If you're actually going to be the one who steals the Aegis, because they get the kill over Zara, but Envy is just in so much trouble here. He's going to try
Envy
to
got the cheese. He ate it.
He get the cheese, though. Yeah, he's still alive here now and for a little bit of trouble again. He did snatch up that Aegis, so he's not too scared right now. There's going to be the Scythe, not going to do enough damage over here onto Gunnar, and Fear still getting chased over here. They have that Stormhammer. Moose still just going to town over here. This cleave damage is doing so much. The Timbersaw just zips on through. Flawless trying to run himself away. They need Envy, though. If they can get the kill over onto Envy, oh, the Charm comes through. They'll take down Envy. He's out of the game. 74 seconds now, and Snake King running away. There's the GG. They know without Envy that this game is just done.
If there was no objectives in Dota, that would have been a very even game. But I mean, it's just the fact that, obviously J.Strom, they win that game almost with ease in a sense, take it 2-0, but Flying Penguins, unfortunately, they just never set themselves up to have any chance in that game from the draft. It just goes back to that, because that was fantastic play. And yeah, I'm with you. I mean, we're all, I think, just kind of stunned.
I was like up against the monitor that whole time, just like, what is happening? Oh my God, trying to follow everything. What a game. But I agree with you, Breaky. Yeah. I agree. You know, I looked at that draft and I was like, all right, they don't have a solution for Timber. Everything that they have is magical except for Envy, and Envy's going to take a while to come online. So in this case, it just feels very much like an out draft.
Yeah, it was.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
Right. So congratulations to J.Strom. They're going to the major.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. And Flying Penguins, they're not completely out of this yet. They will get another chance. So they will be, who are they not going to
Complexity.
They'll play Complexity. That's going to be a very interesting.
I am looking forward to that match. Like, both of those teams are very capable of doing some crazy stuff.
Well, the storylines in that one, too. Eternal Envy and Snake King versus former teammates there and all that drama. So that's going to be a good
match, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Actually, Complexity beat them in the first Open Qualifiers in the finals, and that's what caused them to kick CCNC and Ritsu and replace them.
Well, it makes you wonder, too, if they had had a little bit more even of a draft, how that game would have.
That's what I go back. No, absolutely. I mean, again,
because
we
you
know
saw game number one, just how close it was, right? It all came down to just a couple little things going wrong.
That was the most impressive blowout loss I've ever seen in a game of Dota. It really was. Like, the fact that they played it so perfect. It's like almost they started the game behind 15,000 net worth, and we're like, all right, now we're gonna have to grind. And they did everything right after the first 15 minutes, but still wasn't enough.
We're gonna take a look at the qualifying teams so far. Get that graphic up. Here we go. So we have all of the regions here. Pretty exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, this is good for us to
know, because we only see half of the day because we have to sleep for the other half, unfortunately.
Oh, so those are the teams that have them. I was going to say, are those teams without logos? But no, that makes more sense.
No, there are logos there.
We have one more Europe and one more North American team, and then, of course, the minor winner, as it's referring to. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, no really big surprises on there. Maybe out of China, Keen Gaming's the one that, like, really stands out, but...
NIP making it over Liquid?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that, but
after how hard NIP has been struggling, like, it's a pretty solid comeback in a sense for them. Like, I know Liquid doesn't look the strongest right now, but NIP hasn't had an easy time either getting, like, readjusted to playing with their regular offlaner, I would say.
Well, yeah, with 3-3, and you know, that whole situation was overblown in my opinion by people, and you know, it's easy to sit here and say, like, without mind control, you know, they go back to being scrubs, whatever. It's not the case. No. They know that. Now, I'm not saying that you're saying that, but there are those trolls out there that say that, and it's silly. I mean, NIP is still one of the top teams in Europe and can absolutely compete for a top 8 spot in any major throughout this season. 3-3 is a fantastic offlaner. I've said that since last season. There's a reason why PPD picked him up. He knows what he's doing as a captain, and I'm not surprised to see that. I go back to.
For me, it was more like, you know, it is Liquid.
Yeah,
remains Liquid.
It is Liquid, sure. I mean, and they still have a chance. Again, it's going to be what, Liquid, and who would be another team in Europe still? OG, of course.
Vega is in it, I believe.
And then Vega, and then the Cinderin squad.
Kaban.
Kaban.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, still a...
And that is who we are, that bracket's what we're going to start with tomorrow, I believe.
think so. Yeah, I think that'll be the morning crew, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Shiver and Lizard.
Yeah, because I guess Owen's not going to be around tomorrow, unfortunately. So they'll have a good time casting, and we'll have the full squad here, of course, for the rest of NA.
We get points, don't we?
Oh, yeah, points.
I don't even remember.
We all went except for...
And I think that was a pretty clear draft.
Yeah, for sure.